Welcome to Tea with Honey. It's your girl HoneyDaVinci and I'm back with another video. So tonight I'll be doing another segment of the review and I'll be covering Black Ink Crew episode 24. And the episode starts off with Jess and Walt, preparing for their wedding day. They end up inviting all of the guys to come by having some hula dancers come, and Steve's right away is talking about how he's not gonna come, how all of these things are happening in the shop where he can't go because it's a possibility that there won't be any shop there once they leave. But my whole thing is, prior to them mentioning this, Steve's was talking about how the protest that they have is to prove that the shop is a national landmark and can't be closed down. But he also mentioned that they submitted their petition and that it's going to take 2 weeks before they even get any type of results from the petition. So my whole thing is, you have to wait 2 weeks to get the petition results back anyways. So what exactly do you have going on that you can't go for a couple days? Cease has money, he balls out all the time. So it's just another situation of him choosing not to support Walt. Him choosing to overlook Walt. And if you really look at the relationship between Walt and Caesar, Caesar really doesn't even respect Walt, I feel like. I feel like he's one of those friends that is kind of like, you send, like when it comes to like gangsters and guys in the hood, they always have that one friend that they send to the store. Like, hey, can you go to the store and pick up some wraps? Can you go to the store, pick us up something to eat, pick us up some juice, grab some cigarettes while you're out? He's like one of those guys. Like, he's like one of those guys that's not really valued. They're just kind of around. But to me, I like Walt kind of like on the top. I like Walt a lot. I think that Walt is like the positive energy in the shop. He's not always in drama. He's not always messy. And maybe that's why C's doesn't really respect him, because he's not really contributing to the ratings on the show. But I feel like he stepped it up a lot this year. And I just feel like C's just never really respected him. And also I feel like I said on the last episode, C's is miserable. So he doesn't want to see anyone else be happy. You know what I mean? So he doesn't want to go to Walt's wedding. He was just telling Walt to start going to the strip club and forget all about Jess. Now they're going to Hawaii to get married. Cease doesn't want to support that. He'd rather support Walt if Walt was to go down that road of just cheating and wilding out with a whole bunch of women. You know what I mean? That's what they're facing. After this scene, Bay comes in with the tea on Teddy, because apparently Teddy was exposed on the Shade Room for being seen with some woman, some Asian lady, mysterious woman who, they all want to know who it is that, Teddy is claiming, because she has to be special for Teddy to claim her. And, I don't see what the hype is. Honestly, any woman who ends up with Teddy, I wouldn't consider them a lucky woman. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't consider them a lucky woman, because we know the characteristics of Teddy. Teddy is a narcissist, and Teddy is a true born asshole. It's his way or the highway. And I don't envy any woman who ends up with Teddy, but they're making a big deal about it because, as we know, Teddy is a playboy. So for him to be settling down, they're trying to make it seem like it's this big deal and they want to know who this person is and all these things. And so that's when, Teddy comes in and they asking him about it, like, what's going on with this chick? And Teddy isn't telling them anything. Rightfully so. I wouldn't tell these motherfuckers anything either. Even in the confessional, when Tati found out, because you already know Tati was hating. She's a low vibrational person, and that's facts. And she was saying, maybe Teddy doesn't want this girl to know about us because he doesn't want us telling her how he really is. Girl, that girl already know how Teddy is. She watched the show. She know who he is. And if they've really been together as long as Teddy claims they've been together, then we already know he's been cheating on her anyways. So, you know what I'm saying? But I understand why Teddy wouldn't want to introduce her to anyone in the shop, because typically when you introduce people into the shop, people insert themselves into your business. They want to fight your girlfriend for any old reason, or they just, want to talk shit and make your girl uncomfortable and put you in these awkward positions, or they might try to sleep with you just because they want to ruin your relation, i.e. Tati. You know what I'm saying? Or encourage you to do the wrong thing, like C's is encouraging Walt to go to strip clubs. You know what I mean? You're not really in a position where you're around a bunch of people with successful relationships. You're around a bunch of people with terrible relationship histories, toxic relationship values that are really just going to kind of like manipulate you or try to give you poor advice. And it's just not really a good situation when you're actually looking for a sustainable relationship. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Walt didn't let the group know about Jess, and they were together for many years on and off. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a situation like that where Teddy felt like this relationship was real for him, so he didn't want to let them know about it because it's important to him. And it's kind of like a situation where you travel somewhere and they say don't leave your valuables in your luggage because your luggage might get lost. So it's kind of like a situation like that. He's not bringing his valuable girlfriend to the show because it might get lost on the show. So another thing that happened is C's has to sit down with his mom, and he's talking to her about the shop, and he's telling her how, he really wants to get his business in order, and he might be losing his flag shop and things like that. And, he also lets his mom know that Walt is getting married and that he's not going to be there to support Walt. And his mom gives him some great advice to be there for Walter because, as she said, if the shoe was on the other foot, Walter would be there for C's. So it doesn't make sense for him not to be there for someone who's been there since literally the beginning of Black Ink. So after talking with his mom, C sits down with the cast and lets them know that, he had a change of heart and he will be going on the trip and will be bringing everyone with them onto the trip to Hawaii. Now, everyone's excited to go, everyone's amped up, but the problem is, being that they had already let Walt know that they weren't going to be able to make it, Walt had already invited Kitty and which is Richard. So everyone is, excited and amped up and ready to go, but they don't know that they're about to walk into a trap, meaning Kitty and Richard. They're, specifically Kitty. Richard at least is a grown-ass man. You know what I mean? He could defend himself, but Kitty, she's a petite woman with these animals. Oh my gosh. Pray for Kitty, y'all. Pray for Kitty. So to avoid any further incidents with Walt, because, if they ruin the engagement party and all these things, to avoid any future damage, they did give Jess a heads up that they will be coming out there. So C's calls up Jess and he offers to pay for the wedding. See, this is what I love about C's. This is why I say C's is such a good guy, man. He's such a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And like, he has this asshole tendencies, but overall, he really is a good guy with a big, generous heart. And he lets Jess know, like, not to tell Walt, and that he will be paying for the wedding, getting them this big mansion and things like that. And Jess reacted just like I would. She was like, what? Did he just say he was going to pay for our wedding? Oh, we running up the tab, okay? Yes, I want the nice glass. We might have been, we probably would have had plastic winery cups at the venue, but now we gonna have that crystal. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. You want to pay for the wedding, big baller, boss me? I want to pay for the wedding. Oh, our shit about to look just like Bay's wedding, okay? But so she was real excited about that. So next thing we know, everyone's getting ready. They're heading out, getting in their vans and trucks and heading on the road to the airport. And we see Kwame there, but she's not there with Puma. So Kwame lets us know, like, yes, honey, I'm coming along. Puma's staying home and watching the kids. So then we see a clip where Kwame is talking to Puma, like, hey, we going to Hawaii. Like, she's all excited, like, asking him, like, are we going? And he's like, looking at her like, girl, we? And she's like, are you telling me now? So she just started going off like, you better stay your ass home then, because if we need a babysitter, it's going to be you. Ain't no way. I love Hawaii. And I hear that, girl, because I would have been mad too, trying to leave me out. And so I thought it was real cute that Kwame went off and then left his ass at home to watch the kids and went on the trip by herself. Which is cool. Like, honestly, I never really knew much about Kwame, but these last few episodes, she's really been growing on me. I'm really liking her. She's a good addition to the show. I like her personality, you know what I mean? She's one of those mysterious, quirky people with, like, that's just, like, real. And I like her. So, fast forward. I don't know what it is about Tati, but she's been looking really crackheadish. She's really been looking like a crackhead. Like, no shade, but all shade. Like, she's getting really skinny. She starts acting all sporadic. She's saying that she's all drunk, but girl, I don't know. That looks a little bit more than drunk to me. That look a little bit like a, I don't know. I don't know. She was looking real cracky. She was looking real cracky. That's some crackish behavior going on over there. She's been looking real crackish. I don't know what's going on with her. She ended up throwing up at a restaurant, and then right after throwing up at the restaurant, she was just chilling. And you know what I mean? It's one thing to do that, like, on some, like, young and dumb with your friends, but, like, how old are you, Tati? You damn near 30 years old if you ain't already. Like, come on, you too old to not know the limits of your alcohol, and to be doing that on national television, throwing up at a restaurant, all on the floor. You didn't even attempt to cover up. First of all, I don't care how many times I've ever been drunk, even when I was younger and in that lifestyle of partying all the time. I always made it to the toilet, okay? Unless I was in a car, because if I was in a car, then I was in a car. But I still made it out, either out the window, which isn't a good idea, or out the door. I ain't never throw up on nobody's furniture, or nobody's floor, or nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? Even if I just had to, you know, you know what I mean? It'd be hard, but I'm going to get to that toilet. I'm not throwing up on myself. I'm not throwing up on you. I'm not throwing up at nobody's restaurant, on nobody's floor. I'm going to make it where I need to go. And for her to just be out here doing all that is like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, is it the pills? Is it the crack? What is it? Because it ain't the alcohol. It ain't the alcohol, girl. It ain't the alcohol. You too old for it to be the alcohol. Unless you were alcoholic, which is possible. I don't know if it's the alcohol, the drugs, or what's going on with her, but maybe she's not taking it well about the situation with Teddy, because she was very salty about it. And actually, prior to this scene, we did get to see Teddy's girlfriend. She's a pretty girl. She's very pretty. I noticed that she's very urbanized, if you know what I mean. Like, although she is Asian, she's urban. You know what I mean? She's embraced our culture. That's how I'll describe it. She's not embracing her culture. She's embracing our culture. You know what I mean? The way she talks, her mannerisms, the slang terminologies that she's using. She's embracing the urban, the black culture. That's how I'll describe it. You know what I mean? She's not so much like Bay's mom. She's not like Bay's mom, who's learning about this culture or just coming to America or nothing like that. She's, you know, She probably wears, you know, J's and will hit a lick with somebody, you know what I mean? That's the vibe I was getting. But she's definitely a pretty girl, and you know, that's typical. Whenever, a lot of times when African American men date outside of their race, that's just literally what they do. They date outside their race. They don't actually leave their culture. A lot of times they'll end up with women of different races who have embraced our culture, if you know what I mean. Like, they're not going to be, you know, like, if they date a white girl, you know, a lot of the times she's going to be embracing our culture. She's going to be knowing the rap songs and getting her hair braided and wearing bamboo earrings or things like that. You know what I mean? A lot of the time. Unless it's like a guy that's like rich or something like that. But like a dude like Teddy, you know, when they date outside their race, 9 times out of 10, that's literally all they're doing. They're dating the look, but it's still the culture. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really surprised about that, but she was very pretty. And if I was Teddy, I would keep her away from everyone else too, because they are definitely going to be hating. Specifically Bay, because a lot of times on Black Ink, there can only be one, you know? So I don't know how Bay would feel about you know, an Asian girl coming here that's prettier than her. She'll probably find a reason to hate on the girl. Then after that, we see Walt and Jess at a Hawaiian restaurant. And, you know, they're chilling, having a grand old night. And then the guy on the microphone says, we have some visitors from New York, 113th in the building. And that's when C's and everyone surprises Walt. And, you know, Walt is very happy. And you can tell that it really touched him that C's did that, and C's let him know that he would be paying for the wedding and got them this big old mansion and all of that. So, you know, Walt was really touched by that, and you could tell Walt needed that. Man, you could just tell that Walt needed C's to show him that he cares, because we already know Walt loves Black Ink Crew. He loves C's. They're his family, like, for real. You know what I mean? And he really needed C's to be there for him. You know, and it was really nice to see. And as far as the whole Kit and OSHA situation, the fact that Kitty even agreed to come was just another example of how great of a friend Kitty actually is. And it's just another example of how she will be there for her friends, even if it could potentially put her in a, you know, dangerous situation or compromising situation, because, you know, she did express to Walt when he invited her that, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna come because, you know, what if the guys are there? And Walt told her, you know, that nobody was gonna come, but she knew the possibility that they would pop up, and, you know, she still agreed. So next time we get to see what's gonna happen. I saw on the little clip at the end for the next time that C's is at the mansion and Richard just walks on past. Like, I don't know what's going on, you know? I don't know what's happening, you know, but I'm really excited to see what happens. And pray for Kit, y'all, because they're not showing us what's going to happen with Kitty. You know what I mean? Like, they are not showing us. Like, I'm so nervous. Because, you know, if it was a fight, I feel like they would have had it all up in the scenes prior to. But we don't even see that, which makes it even more like, what is going to happen? Maybe Kit's not going to arrive. Maybe they're going to call her and let her know. We don't know, but we have to wait and see on the next episode. Overall, this was a good episode. I really liked this episode, you know? And a lot of different reasons, you know. I like this episode a lot. I always love seeing scenes with Walt because he's so energetic. So it makes you, you know, like to watch it. But don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you guys so much for the support. Good night.